Hey everyone, Kaosy Umeh here, aka Attorney No Law. So, you guys, I'm here today to talk to you about the difference between mediation and litigation. So, this came up because I had a client who came in today for a regular consultation, but she kept talking about wanting to get her divorce through mediation and how she didn't want to go to court at all. And it really took me a while because I practice this day in, day out. So, to me, it's just naturally I understand how this is supposed to flow, what's supposed to happen in the divorce case. And I think people also get misled by what they see on TV. So they have this idea in their head about you can get divorced without going to court. In Maryland, you cannot. I don't care if you want to do a mediation in your divorce case or if you just want to go straight litigation. In Maryland, you cannot get divorced without at least one party showing up in court. So her case, I had to explain to her that yes, she can get a mediation done without a court order. It'll be me, her, and the opposing party and their attorney. We go in front of a mediator and try to work out and see if we can come to an agreement before we file anything. That happens a lot. Lots of people do private mediations. After the end of the mediation, they sign a term sheet. The term sheet then gets reduced to a settlement, marital separation agreements or marital settlement agreements, whichever you want to label it as. And once that's reduced to marital settlement agreements, you file for the divorce and you attach a copy of that marital settlement agreement and you file it in court, asking the court to grant you a divorce. So in Maryland, you cannot get divorced without going through court. If you haven't gone through court, you are not divorced. So, excuse me. And it took my potential clients, a while to understand this because she was so dead set on just settling everything, signing the documents, and nobody needs to go to court. That doesn't happen. I know on TV you see someone's getting a divorce, they send them the documents to sign to get divorced, and then miraculously nobody goes to court and yet they're divorced. I'm sure that's true in some states, but in Maryland, that just isn't true. In Maryland, those documents the parties are being asked to sign, that is more than likely their marital settlement agreement. And as I said, once they sign it, that signed document is now attached to your complaint for divorce and submitted to the courts, asking the court to grant you a divorce. So in cases like that, when both parties have signed the marital settlement agreement, you're going to file for a divorce based on mutual consent. And within 2, maybe 3 months, depending on how backed up the court is, you guys can be divorced. You go to a very short hearing. An uncontested or mutual consent divorce hearing takes about 10 to 15 minutes, if that much. So it's not a long case. You're not going to be asking any crazy questions. Literally, the court just wants to confirm your name, your address, and the fact that you're able to get divorced in their states. That's literally what they're trying to get you to confirm when you go for these hearings. And also, if you signed a marital settlement agreement, they want to confirm that's actually your signature at the bottom of the marital settlement agreement. So these hearings are pretty quick, 10, 15 minutes, we're in and out. So that's the quickest way to get divorced in Maryland. And that technically I wouldn't call that either a mediation path or litigation path. I just call that an uncontested divorce. But when I think litigation in divorce cases, I'm thinking of a merits hearing where we're in there for 5 hours or 6 hours one day, and maybe we might even have to come back the next day. That is litigation in terms of a divorce. And as I said, you can have a mediation, which you can do on your own without a court order, or you can ask the court during your scheduling hearing, which usually is the first hearing you get in your divorce case, you can ask the court to schedule in a court order mediation, at which point the court will order a third party to complete a mediation of you two at certain dates. So I just wanted to explain that because I don't know. I guess, again, I do this all the time, so I never really had to think about it. But having to explain it to that client and her not understanding that, A, we cannot get divorced. In Maryland, you cannot get divorced without going to court. And B, you can still have mediation and file a case. Having to explain that to her and have her understand it, I don't know. I just thought that was interesting. I figured if she's having a problem understanding this, many of you must be out there also having a problem understanding this. And I hope this explanation just helps you clarify whatever lingering questions you had on this issue. So that's pretty much it. This is probably the shortest video I'm ever going to do. So please don't forget to like and subscribe at the bottom. If you have any comments, please write them at the bottom because I'd like to know what it is you're actually interested in. And to see, I like to know what you're interested in so I can give any advice on that. So,